You've seen me play Soulsborne games, right, honey?
Yes.
Well, the Soulsborne games have a lot of weapons. Whether you're the Chosen Undead, the Ashen One, or the Tarnished, you'll be pretty well equipped to, just absolutely blast your way through all kinds of godly beings without any sort of technical training. Just, pick up a weapon and swing it around. But what if you wanted to use martial arts?
Interesting.
Every game in the franchise has at least a couple fist weapons. Now, with my vast experience of 3 videos and 10 years of martial arts training under my belt, I'd like to see what we can do with these weapons. Instead of just simply saying all they suck and they should do MMA instead, I'll be highlighting styles these weapons' movesets remind me of and what kind of training would they benefit from to make their already existing list of moves more effective without changing too much. Does that sound fun, honey?
No.
We'll begin these overviews. We'll begin these overviews with the newest of the bunch, Elden Ring. Now in Elden Ring, not counting any of the weird bladed ones, this dragon head or text, we have 5 sets of fist weapons. Bare hands, cestus and spiked cestus, iron ball, and star fist. Most of their movesets are pretty much the same with a few interesting differences. To help us demonstrate these weapons, we have my buddy Jonsi here. Say hi. This is Jonsi. Say hi to Jonsi.
Hi, Jonsi.
Starting us off is the bare-handed moveset. One-handed combo is fairly weird since no one would ever do a 6-strike combo with the same hand. Like here, he does a stepping hook, back fist, overhand, a back fist, kind of a shovel hook, and finishes it off with an overhand. But if he, for example, had his left arm hurt, otherwise out of action, or simply didn't have the arm, it wouldn't be that bad since it has a lot of angle and side changes in the strikes. Only thing I'd improve is the strikes are very wide and follow through way too far. Tightening the hooks wouldn't hurt, maybe a little side to side shifting, slip and side steps to mix up the constant forward pressure. Good example of this is from none other than Mr. Mike Tyson.
Woo!
Or if you want to emphasize wide arching strikes, I'd go for maybe something like Choy Li Fut style Kung Fu. This type of middle ground where the punches aren't tight enough or purposefully wide is kind of a wasted potential. Running, rolling and crouching light are all a wide back fist. It might be good for slamming the opponent's guard open if you then change angle yourself. Otherwise, I don't see anyone letting such a strike through as a first hit of an engagement. The one-handed heavy combo is a 2-strike set with sort of a karate zenkutsu dachi footwork. First a stepping straight followed by another step and a third step with an uppercut. Again, nothing horrible here. It's a great way to cover distance and get in 2 consecutive power hand strikes. Running heavy for one hand is a running overhand hook with a stepping stance change at the end. For this one, I'd look for examples from Jeff Chan with his entering and exit strategies. Change the overhand into a cross and then exit the exchange with like a kick. He often leans in with his initial punch to get enough power and momentum to exit with a leg or head kick. He has entire videos on the topic, so I'll link his channel in the description and let a pro do the talking on this point.
I love Jeff Chan. He's a cool dude. Fine lad.
Now the two-handed moves. The light two-handed string is pretty solid with lots of angle and side changes. He starts with a left uppercut, right overhand, comes back with a right back fist and then left hook. After that he takes a stepping side change and comes down with a hammer fist, then another stepping shift to an overhand and 2 shovel hooks, and after that third stepping shift to a double hammer. I like this quite a lot. Same issue than with the one-handed light set, a little too much forward momentum. Maybe with the stepping side change you could also change angles and move side to side a little bit. Also tighten those hooks. With bare hands you'll probably just bust your wrist punching this wide. But if we don't change the way this person here punches, With the angle most these strikes are coming at, he'd have a better chance striking with an open-handed palm strike. Otherwise it's pretty good. But what the hell is that double hammer fist? The forward leaning and punching down with two fists is something I see in a lot of media and it never stops annoying me. It's bad.
It looks like a tantrum.
Yeah, I'm just glad they didn't cross their fingers. So how do we fix this one? Let's take that rear hand and raise it into a guard. You see? Easy. All the two-handed light attacks for rolling, crouching and running are a back fist followed by an uppercut. The back fist could be used to blast open the guard for the uppercut to get through. Like imagine using the hammer fist as an open-handed pry where you push the opponent's arm away from the face. They concentrate on fixing their guard and expect a hook, so they most likely wouldn't see an uppercut come between the arms. Next, the two-handed heavy strings. It's another two-handed downward hammer fist followed by a double straight. Okay, so you leave everything about yourself open and wind your whole body up for a punch that doesn't even cover all that much distance or get enough extra power to validate the wind-up time and loss of protection. I'd drop the lead hand to a sort of Muay Thai or Pankration style long guard where you can then strike with the hammer fist after getting contact with your lead probing hand.
Sounds solid.
But then the double fist punch, just punch with one hand like everybody else.
But Kevin Lee did it.
You're not Kevin Lee! Take that rear hand and either raise it to a guard or use it as a hikite or pulling hand like they do in karate. Now the jumping attacks. They make no sense whatsoever. They all look like reused animations for polearm strikes. You could argue it's an effective way to train both armed and unarmed combat. Use similar moves to simplify learning new stuff. For example, back in my army days, we had a captain who taught us close quarters fighting with the intention that you always keep the same stance whether you use a rifle, pistol, knife or bare fists. Adapting from one to another wouldn't be hard with the stance and actions being fairly similar. But this is just bad. This weird standing jump doesn't really give you much to work with in midair. You just come down and use the momentum to drop your fist down without like any torque from your body. And this goes for all fist weapons. They're all bad. Last, for the unarmed, we have the critical strikes. For this one we need my buddy Yonsi here. They're fine. A body shot followed by a backstep into a rear overhand. It's okay.
Poor Yonsi.
Next up, the cestus. Cestus or kestus, plural kesti, sometimes translated as thongs, were gloves made out of leather straps and in later times were fitted with studs or spikes for some extra damage. The famous statue Boxer at Rest depicts a fighter wearing a pair of kestus. Most of the kestus moves are the same as unarmed ones, but with straps and studs, or in the case of the spiked kestus, spikes, make some of the more swingy punches a bit more effective without hurting your own hands. Notable differences in the movesets come in the heavy strikes. One-handed heavy string is this like Bruce Lee style back fist followed by a straight punch. It looks good, nothing wrong with that. Just do something with the other hand, please. Like guard or something.
Anything.
It's just hanging there. Like my balls. The loaded variant starts the same, but the back fist is followed through and goes into 3 consecutive straight punches. This would also benefit from the passive hand doing something. Maybe after the back fist, take a hold of your opponent, or at least use it to probe and distract so you can connect those 3 back-to-back straight punches. Otherwise I like it. It's brutal, it's fast, and it feels powerful. Two-handed heavy string is also pretty good. It's a simple straight with a switching step followed by a stepping elbow thrust after which comes another stepping straight with a vertical fist. That's like fun.
Yeah.
You rarely see elbows used like that in games. It's another great gap closing combo with the elbow as an interesting mix-up we haven't seen before. When fully loaded, the two-handed strike goes stepping straight, cross, elbow thrust, followed by 2 stepping straight punches, like a 1-2. Here the passive hand works like a traditional karate hikite, so nothing wrong there. Since I don't want to completely change things that aren't horrible, I wouldn't do anything to this one. Solid 8 out of 10 video game combo. Next up is the block. What the hell is that? No good. Very
Look
bad.
At this. Look at my fist. Look at it.
This is my fist. No good. Very bad. Icky. The other hand just hangs around and the blocking hand thinks it's a shield. I'd turn this into a like Muiboran Korat style stance pretty easily, with the backhand raised to around elbow height, and the front hand stays a little further to keep distance between you and the opponent. In Elden Ring, the weapons have this thing called Ash of War, where you give them like extra capabilities, extra movesets. And the Ash of War for Cestus is an Endure, which is just a boxing cross block, pretty much. It's a little too static to be used as such, but fine otherwise. Then the iron balls and star fists. They look a lot like fat bell style weights and big ass mace head respectively. With these, the wild and wide swings aren't as bad because you have a lot more weight at the end of your strikes and you won't be breaking your knuckles, so just like go ham! Just try to move side to side a little. Again, Mike Tyson would be a perfect example to look at for someone with like heavy punches and superb mobility at close range. Imagine like those big ass iron like balls going at you, but then they're like ducking and like dodging.
I would be scared.
Braggart's roar gives the heavy strikes even wilder style. I just don't like this at all. It's like mindless swinging.
It looks like a 4-year-old. You know those kids with like extra long sleeves and then they just spin around?
Well then, that was the Elden Ring fist weapons. Overall the moves look good and feel fun to play. This was mainly just like an exercise for me to see how I'd fix technical issues on these moves. Did you get all that, sweetie?
Yeah.
Okay.